Hey, what's going on? What's going on with y'all? Look, I know it's been a while since I've been on here, but y'all already know what it is. It's TK the poet. You already know it, so you ain't gotta quote it. And if I spoke it, you already know what that means. Yeah, I wrote it. We here to hey, we have to talk about this Poetry Life League that's going on. A lot of y'all may not know what's going on, but it's going down. Poetry Life League. Yes, I told y'all a little bit about last year when we were doing the tournaments and stuff, what this might turn out to be. But look, it's here. It's going down in July. Stay tuned. It's a lot of dope poets all over United States. So I want y'all to stay tuned because we finna break the barrier of poetry. And I got a couple of the potential poets that's gonna be in the league. We're gonna have a little conversation. We're gonna talk about poetry. We're gonna talk about life, and we're gonna talk about, the realness of what's going on. So we're gonna get deep into these poets' minds. We're gonna figure out what make them tick or what made them write poetry? What is your urge or what do you get out of poetry? Is it a relief or is it something that you do to meditate? Do it calm your nerves? Why do you write poetry? We're gonna get up in all that. You never and plus, you know how my show go. You never know what you might get. We might talk about poetry, end up talking about something else, and like it be like that sometimes. It hit different. So man, I'm gonna bring up the first poet, Miss Shorty Rock. We gonna bring her up to the stage one time. You know, look, I found her on TikTok. Man, look, she goes off. When I tell you she go off, she paints movies with her words. When I tell you she paint pictures, she make movies with her word. You can close your eyes and visualize every word that she's talking about. She's very detailed. Her voice is calm, but she gets into her poetry like no other poet that I ever heard before. She is the look. I'm gonna let her, do what she do, man. Shorty Rock, Shorty Rock. I'm gonna pull you up. Hey, what's going on?
I think that
Hey, what's going on? So, Shorty Rock, where you from? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
I live in North Carolina right
Okay, North Carolina. Put your hands
now.
up, twist around the air just like a helicopter. Hey, man.
Aggie Pride.
Okay. We got another poet coming up. Ob Knowledge. Hey, I found him on TikTok, Clubhouse. Hey, man, he got that poetry too. When I tell you he spit and he got some erotic poetry, look, he goes off, man. Hey, he's one of the best in his lane, man. So I'm gonna bring up Ob Knowledge, man.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on with you, man? Tell the world, who you are and where you from.
Um, my name is Knowledge, aka the Hood Prophet, aka Obi Knowledge, um, aka Mr. Steal Your Girlfriend.
Wait a minute, Mister Steal
Um,
Your Girl. Okay, talk heavy.
but in Atlanta, I was birthed here on the poetry scene in Atlanta, uh, by this open mic club called More Epics. I gotta give big shouts out to Jessica Care Moore. Big shout out to Cola Rum, Abyss Graham, Queen
Okay,
Sheba. Uh, big shouts out to Tamika Harper and AKA Georgia Peach. You know, gotta give big shout out to Urban Grind Cafe.
mm,
One of the places I performed. Onyx. Uh, uh, Baby Grand Piano. Got to give big shots out to these spots, man. These spots put me on in position to where I've created a presence for myself. Can't forget the Apache Cafe. Apache Cafe, I performed there. Um, First time I met uh Andre 3000.
okay.
I got to see him in his young years, man. When he was still fresh. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got old yet. you know, um, I got to vibe with some really cool people, man.
Okay.
So the poetry scene here in Atlanta, I met King Malachi from the Dunger family.
Mm.
And I was at More Epics performing this piece called Mahogany Blue. And he was like, yo, you got some knowledge. He's like, I like that shit. And you know, he could rap and sing. So
Okay.
and I've been following his career for years before I even met him. But after he called me Knowledge, the name stuck. So everywhere I go, like I was running into people and they was like, yo, this is Knowledge, bro. Yo, that's the nigga. So
Yeah.
it stuck. And so it just elevated from there.
Okay. Hey, Shorty Rock. So, how do you get your name? Since we know we talk about how we got our poetry name. So, tell me a little bit about Shorty Rock.
I actually got that from
Okay.
just based off my height. It just stuck with me.
Okay. So, how long since someone gave you that name? Is that just it's a new name, or how long has it been since you have that name?
I've had that name since I'm 18 years old.
Okay. So you've been rocking with the name for a while.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. So tell me, either one of y'all can answer this question. Like, what made y'all get into poetry?
I'll leave ladies first.
Poetry
Okay.
found me.
Oh, poetry found you. You weren't
Yeah,
even looking for it. It just knocked at your door. Hi, I'm poetry.
it answered a call that I didn't know I needed.
Okay.
Um, so I think I've always had a way with words, and it just happened one day that it articulated through my hand and just never stopped.
Mm. Okay. What about you, Mr. Knowledge?
um, I was born from poetry.
Mm.
Um,
That's different.
I was born with a mental disability called epilepsy,
Mm.
and the only way I could get my words out is through a typewriter. So I had one of the first digital typewriters that they had out. It was made by brothers, and you know, for a short period of time in my life, I was what do you call that? Where I couldn't talk and stuff. I wasn't able to talk. So I would have to type everything and give a piece of paper to my mom's and let
Mm.
her know what I said and stuff like that. So um I started reading Shakespeare, I started reading Langston Hughes and Maya Angelou, W.E.B. Du Bois, uh, 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 so many others. And um, I started writing sonnets first, and then the sonnets turned into full blown poems.
Mm.
By the time I got to high school, I was on the school newspaper. I was writing for the school newspaper. Then I became the editor for the school newspaper. And then when I got to college, that's when I started performing. But
Mm.
back then, when I was in college, I was a chef. So I would go to the cafes after I got off work, and I would spit my poetry.
Mm.
And being
Okay.
from Chicago and going to culinary school in a whole nother state, you're not used to seeing a big crowd of people standing on stage performing and stuff. So that was my first time, you know, really performing was when I lived in Sandusky, Ohio.
So
Um,
so Chicago is not big in poetry.
oh, Chicago is thick in poetry.
Oh, okay.
But I was in high school when I was in Chicago. So I really wasn't allowed in the clubs and stuff. So me and my homies, just like back in the day, we would all be on the street corner just busting rhymes, you know. We was rhyming and spitting and stuff on street corners. And when I moved to Atlanta, that's what I used to do. I used to go on the train and I used to spit poetry for people. I'd bring my radio with me, I play a beat, and I'd be on the train spitting poetry, you know. And we called ourselves the Hood Poets. It was me and four of my friends. So after a while, we ended up in this street play uh, by this guy named Carter, and Carter J. Gaskin. As a matter of fact, he's a very well known graffiti artist, painter, mural artist here in Atlanta, and he had a play he had wrote called The Street Poets Named Desire, and I was in that, and that's where everything took off at.
Okay. So, how long have you been doing poetry?
Since I was about 15.
Okay.
I've been performing since I was 21, but I've been writing since I was about 15.
Okay. So, do you remember your first poem?
Yeah.
So, look, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Shorty, is that okay with you that I put him on the spot? Go ahead. Let them know what your first poem was. I want to hear it.
I
And this is when you were
it's sort of corny. It's sort of corny, but just remember, I was in the 8th grade when I wrote this. Okay.
Look.
Black beauty to me is like palm trees. Black beauty is like essence of woman that you can never understand. Black beauty is a horse's mane that shines in the glistening of the sun. It's that essence that you've gotten when nothing else has come. Black beauty, that star that shines bright, that melanin in your skin, that time tonight. Black beauty is me. Black beauty is you. Black beauty is beautiful. Peace.
Okay. So look, that's pretty good for you to be 15. I'm not gonna hold you, Shorty. What you think for a 15-year-old? That's good. It ain't bad. It wasn't bad. That was awesome, Shorty. So do you remember your first poem that you
Yes,
wrote?
sir. I remember my
Okay.
first two.
Okay. Well, tell us about your first poem. Like, what
Um,
got you to write your first poem?
my first one was a poem for Black History.
Okay. Okay. So how old was you when you wrote that?
It was the 90s.
Okay.
The dates
Okay.
on it.
Okay. I mean, do you remember? Can you spit it? Oh, talk. Talk. You got it. Look. You know what? I can't even. I wouldn't even know where to find my first poem where I wrote it at. I think I got it memorized somewhat, but I don't know.
Called Shades of Black. To the average man, I am invisible only because people refuse to see me. I am everything they could never be and everything they can't stand. Strong. I am shades of black found deep in the night at the depths of the deep blue sea. I am even found coursing through the blood of millions who have seen bloodshed, tears, and anger, and those who have had to cry out for their own freedom. I am lurking in the rundown streets where the homeless sleep. I burn in the stomachs of children without the energy to wipe the tears from their innocent eyes. Shades of black creep over the clouds and thunderstorms and caress beauty to its deepest form. Now Cupid seduces shades of black. In one part of time, they called shades of black a Negro or a colored person. James Weldon Johnson wrote old black and unknown bards of long ago. How came your lips to touch the sacred fire? How in your darkness did you come to know the power and the beauty of the minister of fire? Harriet Tubman compelled there was two things she had a right to: death or liberty. Gwendolyn Brooks believed abortions will not let you forget. You remember the children that you got, that you did not get, and that he opened us, who was the key, who was a man. Isabella von Wagner, otherwise known as Sojourner Truth, stressed that man says women can't have as much right as a man, because Christ wasn't a woman. Where did Joe Christ come from? God and a woman. Man had nothing to do with him. W.E.D. Du Bois thought that the problem of the 20th century was the problem of the color line. Langston Hughes' motto was, I live and learn and be was to be digged and dug in return. Ralph Ellison knew he was a man of substance, of flesh and bone, fibers and liquids, and might even be said to possess a mind. Maya Angelou, whose ways were to be announced as wanton. Ian J. Hughes, who prays for children whose tears we sometimes laugh at, whose smiles can make us cry, whose nightmares come in the daytime, and who don't get a second chance. Shades of black have brought power to Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, and the millions more. But now think of what diamond, firefly, sparkling eyes, and lost souls will lack if they weren't supported. Shades of black. Peace.
Look, fire. Look, I got the sound effects too, man. Hold up, man. I gotta work. It's been a while since I didn't work this board, so hold up, man. Look, but that was fire though. Hey, like, look, like I told the people before, she paints a movie. It's a movie every time. Just close your eyes and just visualize every word she's saying. Like, like I told you, like you're a great writer. So I know y'all both have y'all different styles. How did you come into your style of poetry?
Ladies first.
Um, Mine's is just life experiences. Um, I feel like I um, can take other people and I can hear their problem and kind of filter it into a different story, and I can channel it into a piece that other people. Because I don't think I'm limited to just when I write. Um, but honestly, if it wasn't for my daughters, I would
Mm, okay.
like y'all gotta think of.
Look. So Obi, what about you?
I mean, like my style is a little complex because I took a little bit of everything. Um, I started off like real revolutionary on some like Black Panther, Malcolm X type stuff. Um, so I used to listen to a lot of X Clan, Wu Tang, uh, Last Poets.
Mm,
Uh, I used to listen to a lot of speeches by Angela Davis and Huey P. Newton, Martin Luther King, and then I would take those and I would hear them in music. I I would hear music behind their voice.
Mm.
Then I would read books like The Monkey's Paw, you know, and uh, uh, Misery and stuff like that. And I would just take all these different genres of books and music and just throw it all together in a pot. It was like gumbo for me, you know, like music, books, information, TV, anything I saw, felt, touched, whatever, you know, everything in life inspired me to write. Like you could give me a word and I can turn that one word into a poem. Like me and my homeboys used to battle rap. And we would have to use that one word in as many different ways as we could. And we used to sit in the living room, you know, and we would just go back and forth. And eventually by the end of the day, we had a whole rap. You know what I'm saying? So like it was one of them things where like poetry became like my therapy. You know,
Look, talk heavy, because look, that's a real fact, because I felt like, you know, that's how why I call this poetry life, because poetry changed my life. It saved my life. You know, when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of people that to express my feelings or to talk to and stuff like that. So, you know, I always used to write. And you know, I never wrote about just like crazy stuff. I always wrote about my life, you know, because that was my exit out, you know. So, you know, I can understand when you say, you know, how poetry affected you in a major way.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's been my go-to for everything, man. Like the life that I've lived, the struggles that I've gone through, I mean, it's all in my poetry. It's in everything that I speak, I spit, everything. The type of stuff that I've been through in my life, man, I think that, you know, anybody who's ever um gone through something has had that at least one moment where they want to just jot something down real quick just to get it out of their head so they don't have to think about it no more.
okay. So look, since you're saying that, like, just say if someone tell you, "Hey, I got $1,000,000. I want to
Mm-hmm.
hear one poem that gonna make me give you this $1,000,000." What would that poem be?
I ain't even got to write nothing.
You ain't gotta write nothing.
Give me $1,000,000 and I'll give you my life.
Mm.
See, it's like taking a bare palm and putting cash in it. But at the same time, I wipe my ass with it because I don't have a need for it. It don't serve me. The only thing it can do is help me pay my bills as a piece of my reality. $1,000,000 to save my life, true indeed. But to succeed is not something that it has to be. It's actually just a problem for me because, like they say, more money, more problems. But at the same time, I'm still gonna solve them because I got $1,000,000. And for every bill I gotta pay, that's another person's life I can save. And for every person's life that I can save, that's another person I can enslave, or better yet,
Mm.
take out of slavery. Because money talk and bullshit walk. People do what they want to do, but they squawk. Always got the answers when they talk. But bullshit walk when that money come in that hand. Understand, we still men. We all have a plan. The plan is not for me. The plan is just to be infamous. See, you want to be known on the multiple stage, a platform that you can never be enraged. Always have to say something that sounds similar to the next, but I write checks that your ass can't cash because guaranteed I'm a blast. See, for $1 million, I give you my life because I can write this story out and it still won't make sense to you. I've lived through 3 brain surgeries and I'm still here. Let's be clear, God fearing, always here. See, this man right here, I stood in the battlefield, whether it was in the street or on the street corner. I'm a hustler for life. I do this for real. Poetry's in my vein. I bleed like steel. Gold in my veins untest my will. I got the spirit of God in my eyes. I come for real. Give me $1 million. Okay, cool. I'd rather have a roof over my head and something for my daughter too. Be able to put her through college. That's what I'm going to do with that money that you give me. But if you don't, shit, fuck you.
Look, talk heavy. Look, did you have, is that something you already wrote or was that a freestyle?
That's a freestyle.
You lying.
Shorty, am I lying?
You lying. Cut the shits.
Nah, no bullshit.
Just cut the shit. That
bullshit.
You had to write that. That was pre-wrote.
No, I don't. I don't have to write.
Oh,
bro,
man, look.
I write when people ask me to, bro. I write when people ask me to. I don't ever write anything. Anytime you've ever heard me spit online, that's all freestyle.
What?
Anytime you ever heard me spit online, that's all freestyle.
Man, you cut the shit.
Stop.
Bro, look, man, look, I'm glad we recorded that because you had some stuff that I had to go. Look, I had to go back because you say service. Look, you was cooking. And if you did that off the top of your dome, look.
Dude, I was trained by some of the best poets in Atlanta, bro. Like, when I say I put in work with these niggas, man, like, I would go to the poetry clubs and just sit there. I wouldn't even go on stage. I still paid my stage fee to get on stage. But I couldn't get on stage behind them. I felt embarrassed. I was like, my little poem to this is, I gotta go back to my pen and pad.
Right.
You know? So when I finally did get a chance to get on stage with them and they gave me my flowers, you know what I'm saying? I felt good about myself. I put in work for this, bro. Like people don't understand, like, because I have neurological issues, I can't be on stage for a long period of time. You feel what I'm saying? So when I heard about the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to do something like this, it was perfect for me because, like, I can't go on stages and be under bright lights for long periods of time because I have a mental disorder. I have epilepsy. So for me, it was like perfect. And that's the only reason why I'm not on stages right now. It's because
that's amazing.
That's the only reason why I'm not on stage right now. Because if I was still on stage, I would have been just like the Georgia Means, just like the Teresa Songbirds. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I just, bruh, like, you gotta understand, the poets in Atlanta, they shaped and molded me into something great. So I give big props to Mr. Fun, Georgia Means, Queen Sheba, Abyss, Cola Rum, all of them, bro. Like I was able to witness their greatness. You know what I'm saying? When I was in Chicago, I got to see my first Common Sense performance when I was 18. You know what I'm saying? He came to my high school. I got to see him perform. That was the first time I saw him perform and the last time I saw him perform. Because getting into one of his shows is like trying to get into the White House.
Look, talk heavy. Man, but I mean, that's amazing that you can do that off of freestyle off the dome because you was cooking. Man, look, Shorty, same question to you. If someone had $1 million in a suitcase and they like, look, I want you to spit one poem that's gonna make me give you this $1 million. What is your $1 million poem?
That's hard to pick. That's hard to pick.
Look, they gonna give you $1 million. Look,
Um. Okay, so if I had to pick one of the ones I have right now, um,
what is your $1 million poem?
I don't know. They're all good. I think I like all my poems.
But which one is the $1 million one?
Go with
See, I know which one is the $1 million one to me, but
Mm.
See, you guys
I
might have you guys have heard a lot of my stuff, so you might be able to pick out one. But I'm just saying, for me, it's hard to pick. Um, I like Warning. I love Handle This. Handle This is one of my favorites. Accountability, I really love because T versus Cup. And Demon Time is starting to become my favorite.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's hard to pick.
You gotta pick one. It gotta be a good
Uh,
one.
I'm gonna just tell you, for me, the poem that she wrote after she got out of the hospital, that's my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean,
I
it's
don't know
so
if I heard
disrespectful.
that one.
You know what I'm saying? She read it to me. She know which one I'm talking about.
you mean Boss?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So yeah, like when she wrote.
Okay. This one is the one I wrote for a friend. He was going through something. This is how I took her struggle and transformed. It's just how I am, or the way I have to be. I don't have the ability to open the gates right now. I have to be on duty. Gotta get to work, struggling check to check. These bills won't pay themselves. A company that will eventually fail. An employer who devalues his employees. A time clock that demands 24/8, which is more than I can give. Man, the gate. No time to process grief, cancer, death, depression, sadness, or tears. Gotta grow these kids into beautiful, productive members of society where they have to be ashamed, feared, persecuted, condemned for their armor, the way they were born, or why yellow doesn't live in their spine or soul, to be constantly reminded that they may never measure up. I don't have a moment to deal with the gates. Laugh to keep from crying. Acknowledgement of the ridiculous demand. Have to keep going, giving, moving, can't stop. If you want something done right, do it yourself. A measure of will is how many times you can stand back up. This house won't clean itself. Laundry, food is expensive, time to cook again, line up, time for hair. Have the dogs been out? Hold the gates. Do this, fix that, patch what, wipe down here, drive this one, win, vacuum again, bath time. Is dinner done yet? I'm still good with time. Head count. Do I have all the kids? Is everyone ready for school? Is the laundry off the line? I think I have everything done, but I don't have time to deal with the gates. Keep them closed. I didn't choose to be like this, but I don't have the luxury to fall apart. The world will judge me either way, as will you. I've been honest, yet still a liar. Faithful, but a cheater. Agreeable, but substandard. Supportive, only damned to aggression. Loyal, yet still there is always a blade for my back. I love you, but it's never enough. Jumping through hoops just to validate your emotions, always having to prove something just to fall short. So swallow my pride, hide the leader in me, bury all parts free and strong. It's too much for most. My expectations are preposterously too high. I don't have the energy to man the gate. I can't focus on the void that has been locked in my chest. This is how I am, how I have to be. If I slow down, I might not survive the amount of grief that is still in the queue awaiting to wreak havoc, but it has to be. For this is something. This is how I have to be. There's always something more than me. Peace.
Yes,
Speechless, right?
yes. Man, look, I can, can I hear it one more time? Just
This one.
one more time. I'm sorry.
You want to
I,
hear this again?
just one more time. Look, I just need to hear it one more time.
That's
Uh,
why it's my favorite.
Look,
That's
I
why.
apologize, y'all, people that's watching, man. Look, y'all have to tune in to, like, when you hear something hot, like, look, forget that. When you hear something hot on the radio, man, you put that on repeat. Man, look, we got to put this on repeat. This one of them ones, man.
Boss. It's just how I am or the way I have to be. I don't have the ability to open the gate. I have to be on duty. Gotta get to work, struggling check to check. These bills won't pay themselves. A company that will eventually fail. An employer who devalues his employees. A time clock that demands 24/8, which is more than I can get. Man the gate. No time to process grief, cancer, death, depression, sadness, or tears. Gotta grow these kids into beautiful, productive members of society where they have to be ashamed, feared, persecuted, condemned for their armor, the way they were born, or why yellow doesn't live in us. To constantly be reminded why that they may never measure up. I don't have a moment to deal with the gates. Laugh to keep from crying. Acknowledgement of the ridiculous demands. Have to keep going, giving, moving, can't stop. If you want something done right, do it yourself. A measure of will is how many times you can stand that up. This house won't clean itself. Laundry, food is expensive, time to cook again. Line up, time for hair. Have the dogs been out? Hold the gate. Do this, fix that, patch what, wipe down here, drive this one when, vacuum again. Bath time, is dinner done yet? I'm still good with time. Head count. I still have all the kids. Is everyone ready for school? Is the laundry off the line? I think I have everything done. But I don't have time to deal with the gates. Keep them closed. I don't have I can choose to be like, but I don't have the luxury. The world will judge me either way. As with you, I have been honest, yet still a liar. Faithful, cheap, agreeable, substandard, supportive, only damned to impression. Loyal, yet still there is always a blade on my back. I love you, but it's never enough. Jumping through hoops just to validate your emotions, always having to prove something just to fall short every time. Swallow my pride, hide the leader in me, bury all the parts free and strong. It's too much for most. My expectations. I don't have the energy to man the gates. I can't focus on the void that has been locked in my chest. This is how I am, how I have to be. If I slow down, I might not survive the amount of grief that is still in the queue awaiting to wreak havoc. But it has to wait, for this is how I have to be. Just always something more than me. Peace.
I don't know. I think mine is a thing your mind. Because this thing, I think I was thinking about this thing was me. No problem. So we
TK, I can't hear you.
Me neither.
You know why? Because I had it on mute. I was talking this whole time. It was on mute. Look, look. I was wondering why y'all couldn't hear me. I'm like, y'all just ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all just that's insane. Q, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hi, y'all.
Hey, look, I had mine on mute and I was talking. I'm like, why y'all can't hear me? I'm just saying it's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, is her mic okay? But it was my apologies. Hey, it's been a while. I haven't been on here for 2 months. I'm trying to, shake the dust off and get back in here, man.
Yeah, I was listening before I joined because I didn't know how to join the service. And so I was listening and I really enjoyed that piece from 20 Rock.
Look, it was fire. We was talking about poems, and we was talking about if someone had $1 million in a briefcase, what would be your $1 million poem to get that briefcase? Do you
Oh
have
my,
a $1 million poem?
oh wow, oh wow. Oh,
They got $1 million right in front of you. They said spit one poem and you can have this $1 million, but they gotta make me want to give you this $1 million.
I have a fire one. You can expect that. I might have something.
I don't know. Could y'all hear perfectly? It sounds like our audio kind of low.
It,
Is it?
yeah, her audio's going in and out.
I don't know what it is. I don't have a mic for this laptop.
Oh,
And so
okay.
until I get one, I'm having to use my headphones.
Okay. That sounds a little bit better. I don't know what you did or
Okay.
what movements you made, but that sound we could hear you perfectly right there.
Oh, okay. That's what's up there.
So, what got you into poetry?
Oh my goodness, my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, she was writing. She was writing when we were kids. And so I just was like, maybe I should try this. And I
Mm.
realized that it was soothing and whatnot, and I was able to release certain emotions and stuff like that and just put it on paper.
Mm. Okay. So, what's your first poem? Do you remember your first poem?
Um, what was it called? I think it was just called A Poem for My Grandma.
Mm.
because she had just passed away, and so yeah, a poem for my grandma, and I wrote it. I actually wrote it as an assignment for school, and it got published inside of a book.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah,
How did that make
yeah.
you feel?
I was excited. I mean, we didn't have the money to purchase the book, but just knowing that, I have a poem out there in the world in a book,
Look,
that
that's
is,
awesome.
yeah, that was my
Look,
first time being published. I got published again in high school.
mm, okay, okay, okay. It's published. So, do you think your poetry is different from when you started to now? Is there a big jump or a
Oh,
big difference?
yes, yes, a huge difference. The growth is different. I can see the growth, and I like it.
Okay, okay. Look, that's one thing
And I
I can
feel
say.
it.
Like when I started, I don't know. Like I
Mhm.
felt like I was pretty good, but I think life experience and what I've been through throughout the years helped me, write a little bit more. Because when life is lifing, sometimes you get
Mhm.
material out of it. So
Exactly.
I think it's just the experience. I don't think that I just got better as a poet. I just felt like I had different experience that I could write about, you know. But also, I learned, about delivery and and performance and stuff like that's one thing that made I guess my poetry a little bit better or a little bit different because I learned, the different style of poetry. Just like, Obi Knowledge, he said battle rap. I've been watching battle rap ever since 2003, 2004 when it
We
was
talked
Lion
about that on the phone.
yeah, so
Yes.
that
Yes.
I'm a big fan of that. So I kind of got my my aggressors, the way they set up and scheme and stuff like that. That's
Mhm.
like my writing form because I like the way they take words and take it to a whole different level.
A
They
whole
scheme.
different level.
So like when people say, "Oh, your poetry is like kind of like battle rap," I'm like, well, I've been watching ever since 2003, so
Mhm.
I'm a fan of it. And they was like, people ask me why you don't get into battle rap because I just don't like the negativity. I mean, I love the art form and stuff like that, but me talking against or talking down to another person just like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. That's not in my aura.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, Opie. What you say? I can't hear you. You probably got to leave and come back if you had a phone call or anything. You probably got to leave and jump back in. I don't know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, you probably have to leave and come back and rejoin the StreamYard. Okay, okay, okay. But that's where I kind of got my form, man.
Mhm.
Until he get back, look, I want to play y'all one of my poems that I have on here. Let me
I was
get
going to
into it.
say I found a poem.
Okay, okay.
I
Well, go ahead and get
had to
the words off.
I had to search for it. Uh, to me, I feel like it should get the $1 million case, because I stepped I stepped outside of my box and did some different type of thinking. This pool, so it is definitely one of my favorite pieces. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. That was his mic kind of loud. Hold on, let me unmute and see.
Mic check, mic check. Am I still here?
Yeah, you still good. You still good. Knowledge, you
I
still there?
can't even see myself. I'm here, but like
You gotta turn
my
on the
picture,
camera.
something happened to my picture.
You gotta turn the camera on.
Okay, there we go. All right. Y'all can hear me?
Well, we can hear you, but we just can't see you.
Yeah,
Do
You can
y'all
see
see
me?
him or is I'm tripping? Oh, there you
I
go.
said,
Okay, there you go. Here we go.
Okay.
Little technical
Okay.
difficulties, but we here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what happened was I plugged my microphone back into my auxiliary box and it knocked the
Oh, okay.
sound out.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
yeah, so
wondering
I
like, hey, what's
apologize.
going
That's my
on?
bad.
No, you good, you good. Hey
Nah,
man.
when you got a mic, and you realize that the cord ain't where it's supposed to be.
Right. No, for
So
sure.
yeah. But
Q. Q said she found her $1 million poem, man.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Look, we waiting for
now it might not be worth $1 million to everybody. So I just hope y'all like it.
it. All right, let's go.
Hey,
Okay.
it's all about what you think.
Well, I love it. Okay. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, okay. This is titled Sheet Music. Think of me as sheet music, a complicated masterpiece, a bundle of melodic confusion, strategically placed notes, bar after bar, changing time and rhythm midway through. End result, me being the best tune you've ever heard. Sounds absurd, but I am complex. A tangled web of flaws, emotions, and personalities, impenetrable by many, but you, my love. You can read me in treble or bass clef, piano, flute, saxophone, clarinet, or tuba, and play this to a T. Simply because you are in tune with the beat of me. Every note in key, great range, you will see what seems hard at first comes easy with time. Reality is you're the composer to this discombobulated piece of mine. Your comprehension baffles me. A special form of literacy. From day one, you sight read my musical notation like a pro. A foreign and unfamiliar piece I am. Qualities that you find amusing with a love that feels therapeutic, baby. You could just think of me as sheet music.
See,
Okay.
that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. I rebuke that poem in the name of the Most High. You said
Why?
no, you said we can't do nothing sensual. You said we couldn't do nothing
No,
sensual.
I said we
See,
couldn't do
that's
no porn.
unfair.
I said we couldn't do porn poetry. That's what I said. No porn. I ain't say that.
He said no birthday suit poetry.
Look.
That's what he said. No birthday suit poetry.
Say I kept it clean.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you was
Oh, but
PG-13 with it. I'm rated
look,
triple X.
yeah,
I'm a triple X
Obi is,
poet. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We can't put that
Look,
on
I
you. We'll
got
shut them down.
no. I like you there, Obi. I like you. I see you. I see you. We here. 'Cause I
Look,
got something for you, baby. Yes. Ooh, I got a piece just for you.
look, look.
Okay.
Y'all trying to make Facebook shut me down. Oh, bad. Y'all trying to make Facebook shut
Nah,
me
nah,
down.
nah, nah.
Hey, look, this is one of my poems I'm gonna play for
Oh
y'all.
wait,
I'm trying to be
TK.
good.
Yes, ma'am.
You said Facebook. This was YouTube.
Oh yeah, well, it's on Facebook too, as well. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We streaming on different platforms at one time, man. We trying to make a poetry great again, man. but uh
Indeed, indeed.
but here's one of my poems. I'm gonna play the recording of it. Hope y'all enjoy it. It's called Wake Up Now. This poem I wrote while I was in the hospital. So
right
I hope
there.
y'all enjoy it.
Right, but they call it Highway 377, and you go over the bridge, and the first, yeah, go over the bridge, over the freeway, and the first light, illuminated first.
I was sitting on the hospital bed scared, cause the doctor said I could have lost a leg. All kinds of shit running in my head while they telling me, you too young to be living like this. I start to reminisce on all my bad decisions. Going against my wife like we was in a competition. See, that shit is wicked, twisted. At some point, her love, I missed it, not paying attention. I was too concerned about my own feelings. Too scared to accept her love, I had my own reasons. But in reality, they was all excuses. See, this what happened when you lying on a hospital bed and you start to think, when nobody else around you, then all of a sudden, you hear them call out a cold blue. At that point, I said to myself, little nigga, that could have been you. How can you say you love yourself but your body misused? I'm so confused, but not really, because that's what I wanted to be. I knew the truth, but I entertained the lies, telling myself I love my wife, but at the same time, I wasn't listening to her cries. See, that's a deep pain. Like getting stuck 20 times because the doctor couldn't find my veins. And you know what's strange? Me being in the hospital bed for 5 days and my wife sleeping on that little ass couch, seeing her get up and stretch, knowing that she got back pains? That's insane. I never understood why she loved me so much. When I had her jumping through ropes like double dutch. See, enough is enough. The Most High gave me a sign. He had to sit me down and I had no choice but to listen now. And I had to understand, to hear my wife speak is a blessed sound. And a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. And I realized I got my blessing now that I shouldn't take for granted. The seeds were planted. And I had to make sure it was on holy grounds. See, the Most High said, protect your crown, because I can't speak to you just laying down. And your wife is a trophy, but not the kind you just lay around. See, Harry Potter, that trophy can take you anywhere you need to be unless it's tainted now. So take this as a wake-up call and make sure your phone is not on silent, because you don't want it to be silent and you miss your wake-up call. TK the Poet. So what y'all think about it? What y'all think about it?
Well, good, she can get some financial aid.
I appreciate it, man. That was look. That was like real personal to me because I was going through a lot, man. I was in the hospital and they almost cut my leg off. I had got bit by a spider, and I'm thinking,
Hmm.
and I thought I was just, I pulled a muscle, and but it started getting worse and worse. And when I got to the hospital, like I could barely walk. So the doctor
Ground
told me
recluse.
like I don't know what it was, but they say it was infected, and they say it got down to the muscle. So they be like, man, if it would have got down to the bone, we had to cut your leg off. It's lucky
Ground
that
recluse.
you came in another time.
Hmm.
So I'm like, man, I
You
could have
got bit
been
by
walking around here with one leg, man.
you got bit by a brown recluse.
Hey,
Yeah,
well,
man.
let's
Hmm.
thank God you got both your legs.
Look, look, look. Hey, well, we got another poet coming up here, Lady Shine. Lady
Oh, Mama
Shine.
Shine. Mama Shine's coming.
Oh, that's what's up. What's up,
Oh
Shine?
Lord,
How you
look,
doing?
I was like, I was just coming to listen.
Hi, Mama Shine.
Hey,
All
man, I
right, how
gotta bring
y'all
you
doing?
up.
What's that? Julie want to pledge?
Look, we here to talk poetry, man.
Huh?
I said we here to talk poetry and try to figure out,
Listen,
how we can get poetry to a higher standard.
I know that's right. I love it. I love
Look,
it. I love it. I love it. I came in right at the end of your piece. It was beautiful.
appreciate it. Thank you. You know, that was one that would that would touch me when I was in the hospital, man. I was just sitting there thinking, like, man, you know what? And it's crazy that you stop and see what's everything going on around you, and sometimes you pay care, you pay attention to details. Like when my wife was coming in and out, she was up there, spending the night, sleeping on a little couch, and me just seeing her get up and aching, but she was there And she could have went home and slept in her own bed, but she chose to stay there with me, sleeping uncomfortably, just to give me that support. So, it kind of hit different. So, I was asking them ladies, Shine, about if someone had $1 million and they said, give me one poem for you to secure this $1 million. Do you have $1 million poem to get that briefcase?
Ooh,
She does.
look, I might have something. And look, I'm about to say I might have something somewhere, Jesus. Look, I don't know who said that, Jesus, but look, I might have something.
They said you got a couple $1 million poems over there.
You know, I humbly believe that there might be something in the arsenal.
Okay. She said she clipped up. But no, I want to ask a serious question now. We've been on here for about an hour. Now let's get the people what they want. Give the people what they want to hear. Let's talk about poetry. Like, why do the industry don't value our expert artwork or our penmanship? Why is the industry just looking down on us like we're not some of the best writers in the world? What is y'all thoughts on that?
Honestly, because of how we market ourselves and the lack thereof. We don't hold ourselves to a certain level of standards like so many other industries do. And we don't back one another like so many other industries do. The thing about the spoken word realm is that it is a very isolated space, right? So if we were to be truthful about it, there's a lot of ego involved within the community. And so when you are having to fight ego hand over fist,
right.
Look, you're not
how to
lying.
properly market themselves, right? And so you find yourself in more arguments and foolishness than in places and spaces meant for progress, because everybody thinks they know everything.
Right.
And so I mentor, I coach, but coaching starts with listening.
Facts.
A lot of people want to be heard, but how many of them can actually break down a piece because they were listening to it?
Right.
How many people are dazzled by a stage performance but are actually hearing the words that are being spoken at the same time? Most people aren't even tuned in and paying attention because they're so concerned with when is it my turn.
Right.
They more oftentimes want to be seen rather than listen. And I try to explain to people, I can go hours at a time hosting open mics that I never spit on. Because for me, I literally love this thing. I don't have to say work. Now, don't play with me. It's not that I don't have work. I got some work for that behind. You understand what I'm saying? But I love this and I live it.
Right.
So when other people they hear things, they don't hear what they want to hear, then they tune out. And I'm tapped into your words. I'm tapped into the soul of the thing because I understand where this gift actually comes from. But a lot of the issue is just very simply put, this is a very ego-driven experience. And so it can be ego in a good way or it can be ego in a toxic way. And only you can really determine how you're going to move. Do you get what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
And I truly feel, in my humblest of opinions, that that is a huge part of the problem.
So how we turn it around though? I mean, how do we get out that funk of where it's at now? How do we turn that around?
Well, that's easy. You first of all, you got to stop worrying about what everybody else doing and focus on what you're creating. If I sat here and focused on every little negative, this, that, and the third, I never would have gotten where I am, and I'll never get where I'm going if I don't tune all of the negative stuff out. I think people get so caught up in it, and don't get it twisted. I get caught up in it too. That's
Right.
why I ain't been live in the last few days, because
Hmm.
the last 3 lives I did, I was cussing people out because I'm tired. 2 years of BS. You understand what I'm saying? So I had to sit me down. Look, I got one of them back end calls like, baby girl, are we done yet? I was like, damn, that's about the 3rd live that I'm cussing folks out. I think I need, you right.
Look.
I need to go sit myself in the corner for a second, because I had to remind myself of why I do this. And I do it
Right.
because I'm in love with it. I
Right.
am emphatically in love with it. So the number one thing is focus on you. If you have a vision, don't worry about what else anybody else is doing.
No, that's a
Focus
fact.
on that vision and keep moving forward. And if you're not getting the results that you want, twist some things on their head. Don't be afraid to fail.
Right.
Here's the thing, failure isn't real.
Hmm.
A success is nothing short of a science project. Any scientist will tell you they got to try a whole lot of things that don't work to get to the things that do.
That's a fact. That's
You
a
know, and so that's my humblest of opinions. I don't know what y'all doing as far as poetry.
we just talking, having a general conversation. Then, even though if it involved in us spitting some poetry, we just gonna let it flow. You know, we
Look,
talk about poetry, but Obi, you had something to chime in about.
Yeah, so I come from the slam poet scene.
And I'm so
So
glad.
the slam poet scene is pretty much like the battle rap scene.
Mm.
And it's where poets go neck to neck. I mean, all the way down to hitting the internet, researching, showing up anonymously at people's performances, watching what they did right, watching what they did wrong. I mean, I did some scandalous stuff back in the day, to where it's like I would show up to my rivals, shows, and see what kind of material they were doing, and then make sure I was ready with something that was even better than what they did last time.
I mean,
So,
that's
I mean,
just valuing your competition. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
yeah, but see, this is the thing. What lady said it brings up a good point. See, when you focus on the negative, you always on the hunt for the upper hand, and you bring your ego into it. When in actuality, you can like your enemy's poetry and still be able to do your job. You don't have to disrespect one another. You just have to stick to the topic. It's just like, when a person goes to work, you may not like who you work with, but you got to respect me while I'm here. You feel me?
Right.
And poets, because we use our pen more than anything, you know what I'm saying? We are marketed as writers, right? We're marketed as writers. We're the ghostwriters of the hip hop game. We're the ghostwriters. We're the Jill Scotts, the Charlie Parkers, the Maya Angelos of the hip hop world. You know what I'm saying? Like Jill Scott wrote a lot of people's songs back in the 80s. A lot of people don't know that. She wrote 3 albums for the Roots crew. You know what I'm saying? Erykah Badu ghostwrited for Andre 3000 Outkast. I mean, she ghostwrited for a bunch of artists out of California. So we as poets have to start marketing ourselves as spoken word artists. See, that word spoken word, it's so powerful. So when I use it because that's I'm the embodiment of poetry.
Okay,
You
so I
feel
got a
me?
question for you. Since you said that, what's your personal definition between spoken word and poetry?
Spoken word is like hip hop. Hip is the vehicle, but a
Mm-hmm.
rapper is what you are.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? You're a poet by nature,
Mm-hmm.
but by definition, you're a spoken word artist.
Mm. Okay.
You feel what I'm
Okay.
saying? So when you're a spoken word artist, you give life to those words. And as you know, words are spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear them, you feel it. But because it's a cappella and there's no music behind it, you feel it even more.
Right.
But when you put that music behind it, it takes on a whole nother form.
But you know what? But
And see, people don't want to recognize.
not to cut your wisdom or anything like that. But like I was talking to this one individual on Twitter the other day, and he was saying about poetry, like he was saying, like, because I asked him, I said, why we don't have no poets up there with like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole? And he was like, well, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, they poets. I'm like, yeah, they are, but they're not known as poets. That's not the only thing that they do. They do
Well,
music,
rap,
but
rap
the
means rhyme
rhythm
and
and
poetry.
poetry. Mm-hmm.
Right, rhythm and poetry is what rap stands for. But the thing about it is the reason why people don't market themselves as poets and they market themselves as rappers is because of the last poets. You know, the hieroglyphics, diggable planets, De La Soul, mirror, mirror on the wall. You feel what I'm saying? Those those were people who were considered conscious.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? When you take the rawness of poetry and you put it on a stage with no music, it's just spoken words.
All right.
But
But
when
look,
you put music to it, it becomes hip hop. It becomes rap.
right. But look, at the same time though, like we as poets need to, brand ourselves a little bit better, like Lady Shawn was saying. Like we I don't know what it is, but you have people that did poetry, especially in music, but they want to say, no, I'm not a poet, I'm a rapper. But why do they don't want to embrace the poet side? Everybody is to say, oh, they rappers. Oh, yeah, I'm a rapper, but I did poetry. But so you don't classify yourself as a poet? You rather classify yourself as a
I'm gonna
rapper, or
tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because then the label has to give you writers credits.
Hmm.
The label has to give you writers credits. See, when you go into a studio, if you don't produce the beat, you don't get credit for that beat.
right,
You get credit for the lyrics on the beat,
right.
but you don't get credit for the beat. The producer and the engineer get credit for the beat. But if you write and perform said
Mm-hmm.
material, not only do you get a writer's credit, you get a publishing credit, and you get the what do you call that? The you get a royalty credit.
Right.
And that royalty credit is what gives you that residual income. So every time somebody says, I want a song that sounds like this, they have to go on your BMI or whatever and see who wrote that song because they're the writer of the song. So they don't want to have to pay you to be a writer and an artist.
Mm.
That's why you don't hear about Alicia Keys writing her material no more, even though she does. But her husband produces all of her music.
Okay, so look, let's talk about this real quick. So y'all know AI is taking over, right? So you have
Mm-hmm.
AI making music, writing music. So what about AI doing
Mm-hmm.
poetry? Because if they
Well,
can do more,
that's the thing about
Here's Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, okay, so I wrote a poem about a week ago, and I put it into the AI system. It rewrote my entire poem and took every terminology I put in there and every metaphor and made it sound like a Ronald McDonald song. Like for real, for real. There's just certain things AI can't do.
Right.
You know,
And
now it can assist you with formulating an idea. It can assist you with a lot of things, but AI can't write poetry.
Lady Shy, what you think?
so I got a couple things that y'all had talked about with, but we'll go to the AI first.
Okay.
AI has no soul. The thing that we do is a literal spiritual download. So what comes out is what is divinely guided to come out. That's why when you go to places and you express yourself, whether it be virtually or in person, you are going to be introduced to a person whose soul you literally touched, because it's a soul and spiritual project. So AI has no soul. So it cannot do what we do. And the more that we pump into it, the more that it will attempt to emulate it. But the reality is AI was created to simplify tasks and projects. And what we do is spiritually complex. So it cannot relate to it. Right. So I am not personally worried about what they may continuously attempt to do, because what we do again is a spiritual communication. That's why you'll get these pieces that wake you up in the middle of the night, that you can't put your pen down, you can't let the keyboard go until you give birth to that thing. This is something. That's why you be in traffic and something hits you and you got to pull the hell over, because you got to catch that download in that moment. Because if you wait, it will move to the next willing vessel that's willing to receive that spiritual project, because something has to happen. Poets are nothing more than prophets that bring things into an artistic form for the human ear to be able to conceptualize. You get what I'm saying? So we have to be willing to accept our part in this process in a spiritual lane. So AI, I ain't worried about AI. AI is not my problem. You feel what I'm saying? Let AI do what it does. It writes great memos and contracts for me. Appreciate you, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But poetry, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about any of that. It has its lane, but this ain't it. With regards to spoken word, I tell people all the time, spoken word and is literally where, and this is why I think a lot of people don't want to label themselves necessarily as spoken word artists or poets, because spoken word is where theater and poetry had a baby and it came out on steroids.
I like that.
That is what spoken word is.
I like
you
that.
can be a phenomenal poet and not be a good spoken word artist, right? Because spoken word is that performance piece, right, of your poetry. So you can be also, folks don't realize this, but you can be a phenomenal spoken word artist and a horrible poet. But a lot of people don't buy that, because what they don't understand is they're appealing to a certain level of your senses. And because people block certain things out and they're not actually listening a lot of the times, if you can get a person to feel something, you can convince them of bullshit.
Facts. Talk.
You get what I'm saying?
Hey, look, they don't want you to. Hey, you better stop talking, because you're talking the truth. You're not lying.
So I used to sit in the things, and I used to sit in places and listen to real poets who couldn't perform share their shit. I was like, that's vicious as hell. And then I listened to a great performer say absolutely nothing, and I'm like, well, goddamn. So, and I would be frustrated, which is why I started the process that I did on social media. It started with TikTok, because I wanted to hear people, and I wanted to be in a position where folks couldn't tune it out, because there were no distractions. There were no loud, folks getting cocktails at the, getting their coffees and stuff in the cafe and sneezing and shit. You had to listen, because there were so many phenomenal, what some would call quote unquote paper poets. But here's the reality: while people can say what they want to, not everybody's got a performance Maya Angelou voice, right? But you can't tell me, even though we probably know Edgar Allan Poe probably couldn't recite his own shit in front of a group of people, but you can't tell me that he wasn't a phenomenal goddamn writer.
Oh, he was amazing.
Do you get what I'm saying? This is one of my favorite poets. And so if I could get people to understand that this is a real thing, this is a lifetime situation. You don't choose this gift chooses you.
Facts.
So when you really walk this thing out, the reason that people don't know how to market themselves is because people who are truly gifted they're not trying to brag about themselves. They literally are just trying to walk this thing out and live this spirituality thing out. And then the ones that want to brag the most about themselves really ain't probably living this shit like that, because they're so driven in their ego that they're, again, not people that are looking to listen. They're not people that are looking to receive the ministry that this thing is. They just want to be heard. They want the spotlight. So that's a whole nother element of where the mismatch comes with being able to teach people how to properly market themselves, because you've got to get them out of their own way. Because some of the most phenomenal poets that I have ever met in my life, I call them closet poets. They've never written
I've heard
their
that
stuff
term
in front of anybody.
before. I've heard that term before.
You get what I'm saying, Obi brother? They've never
Yeah,
read their
because
stuff.
like my daughter, truth be told, she's not really a writer, but like when she's like in her zone, the stuff that come out of her head is retarded. Like it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and
Like
because it's a spiritual thing, she's catching that download, and she's with the shits. So when you put it in that perspective, and people realize you got to live this, you really got to live it, and you got to want to live it. You don't get to decide when you turn it on and turn it off.
Look, poetry life.
And what's even crazier though is that what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of these poets and a lot of these spoken word artists, when they go to do their photo shoots and all of that stuff, most of that stuff they do it and fund themselves. They fund themselves to do that stuff. Because I've been doing photography. I went to school to do photography. All the pictures you see of me, I took. All the pictures you see of people that I've taken pictures of that are poets, I took. I did this because I didn't want to have to pay nobody to do something I could do my darn self.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, poets, we really are starving artists. We're starving artists. That's the bread and butter of it. But we're not starving for money. We're starving for appreciation. You feel what I'm saying? Because we can make the money. We just want to be in the same category as the rappers and the singers and the
we want a Grammy. As a poet, we need a Grammy. We need a poet to go up there.
It's called a literary award. What that's what you really want. You want that docket certificate from the Poetry Society. You want that literary recognition. When you get that, that's when you made it. The first person to ever make it was Huey. What was it? Harry Belafonte. Harry Belafonte got the first literary award back in the early 40s. And now, after all the singing and the acting and all of that stuff that he's done, look at where the man's legacy's damn near disappeared.
And that's on us. That's on us.
Great man.
We have to put in the work to make sure that the great legacies that are handed to us, and I mean they're literally handed to us because they did all the work. They took all of the cuts, all of the bruises, all of the beat downs. They took it for us, and we have to push that legacy forward. We have to. That's in how we teach not just our own children and our own households, but how we educate the world through our words.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's on us. It's our responsibility to carry that, because they've done everything and given it to us, and it'll be the next generations to carry on the legacies that we leave behind. We just have to make sure that we leave behind fruitful legacies.
Right.
Look, and that is the reason why, you know, people ask me like, oh, when you do your porch, you got a lot of passion and a lot of, you know, volume to it. But I'm like, look, this is me. This comes from a deep place inside me. Like, I can't duplicate this or, you know, falsify this. This is me, you know, and that's why, like, if someone can read my poem or, you know, recite my poem, they're not gonna recite it or read it like I would, because it comes from inside of me. When you saying AI can't do what we do, heck no, AI can't do what we do. Ain't no way. Ain't no way that you can put the pain and the raw emotions and the feelings into the poetry. Like AI, you can't do that because you haven't lived that.
Exactly.
But see,
They can
this is.
imitate it, but they can't
Go
be
ahead.
it.
Go ahead, Queen. Go ahead, Queen. Go ahead.
Yeah, my apologies. I was just saying they can't create it because they can't live it. They are not a living being. They are not God-given breath. They are not God-given spirit. They are not God in the flesh. They are a machine that was created by a God-given flesh, right? So, but they are not God. So it's impossible, right? And then as a people, as Black people, as a people of the sun, as the people of the earth, as the people of all that is spirit, as the people that is all that of all that is life, they cannot emulate, or they can do nothing but emulate our souls. They cannot recreate it. They cannot give birth. The men and women of the pen, we give birth to something. Every time we open our mouths, we are giving birth to something. We are causing life. Listen, I'm trying not to get too preachy because I know I can't stay too long because I got a show I got to get to in an hour.
Good.
But I'll put it to you like this, because there are folks that live a biblical life, right? And I don't care what you pull, because I can probably find and match up different verses in Quran, Kabbalah, Holy Bible, whatever, the Torah, whatever. But we'll take it from a Holy Bible perspective. Right? Look,
why I feel like you looking through my computer screen. I swear to God, dude.
You feel what I'm saying? But I'll put it to you real short like this. In creation, if you look in the book of Ephesians chapter 1, we talk about the prayer that was given, that our eyes would be open to the hope and knowledge of our calling in Christ, right? But if you go a little deeper, go a little further, I believe it's verse 17, where God said, the same power that I used to raise Christ from the dead is the same power that I bestowed upon my children that which believe, right? Because this is an inheritance. Now, if you go into the creation of all things, the Genesis, right? It was a thought, it was a word, and then it was a being. Right. So if we are then also created in the image of the Most High Creator, that means that we are creations created to create. That means that God flows on the inside of us continuously, right? So that which was birthed was only birthed to show us what we were, right? Not just the walk, but what we are, the power that's on the inside of us, whether it be healing or destruction. There's power on the inside of us. Life and death is in the power of the what? The tongue. Whatever you speak, so shall it be. So there's a reason why we were given this prophetic gift. When we speak it, we heal. When we speak it, we destroy. When we speak it, we build, we create. So AI can't do that
at all. But not to cut you, which I like to bring up a poet Scar and our daughter real quick. Bring her to the stage. Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing?
And how are you?
We doing great. We just talking about poet. Hey, we got a poet Scar in here. Hey, I'm glad that you pulled up, because a poet star. She was in the champion of poetry life tournament.
Yep.
And look, and she can kind of tell you how the tournament went. But I like to ask you a question since they didn't participate in the tournament. What was your experience in the tournament?
I loved it. I mean, great poets and everything like that. But I mean, it's just awesome. You get a lot of critique. You get a lot of information on how you write, and you pick up a lot from other people too. I learned a lot there. I loved it.
Okay, okay. And man, I know that you had got put out early in one of the rounds, but I don't know what the judge is thinking because that poem was fire. The lower
Thank,
ashes poem, like that poem was fire.
thank you.
Like, and I was advocating for it. I like, nah, y'all didn't read that correctly. Like that one was fire.
I think it comes out a whole lot different when you speak it than sometimes when it's read by others, because
Hmm.
you know how you want it. You want it out there. You
Hmm.
know that flow.
And with me as a poet, when I was reading it, I was catching the flow of it. I'm like, man, this is one of the ones y'all really slept on this one.
Thank you.
But I mean, your daughter, introduce yourself,
Hi, I'm Sierra.
Miss Sierra. So you're a poet as well.
A little bit.
She's just
A little.
starting out.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, okay, okay.
I quit writing for a while, and so she added me on the page, and I just wrote a poem like that around that time this
She
week.
she used to write when she was younger, so she's getting back into it because I use it for a release of emotion a
Right.
lot. And I think that it would help her. She's really good. She's actually took some college courses in that.
Mm.
So yes.
So I got a question for you. Why did you stop writing poetry?
Life. It's just
I,
busy. It's busy all the time. There's always something that I get pulled to. I'm pre-med, so I've been doing school. And then my dad had a stroke in April, so I've been handling his finances and getting him on disability and making sure somebody's there to look after him. And then I just recently took on my nephew.
mm. So your life been life.
Life has been life.
Life. But I mean, look, that's one thing that I tell people, man. We may have a plan or a vision where what we want to do or how our life is going to be, but that's not how life treat us. We have a plan. It'd be like, okay, we figured it all out. Then here come life with a wrench in it. You ain't gonna do that.
Got to
So,
roll with the punches.
so it's like you be like, damn. Like then you look back, like this is not what my life is supposed to be right now. I'm supposed to be doing something, something great, but that's how life is, man. But I
That's how
think
you
that
that's how you build strength. You got to go through it.
look, and it make good poetry.
Yeah, that's right.
It makes great poetry because I be telling people this. When you do poetry, you're not only doing it for yourself, but you shine a light for other people as well. You
That's
know,
right. They
and
don't feel
so
so alone.
and that's why I say when us as poet, and this is why I feel like poetry haven't made it mainstream or we're not up there with the big rappers because poetry is too real.
That's
It,
right.
it, it's too real, and people do not like real. People like to be lied to. People
Hmm.
like false stuff. That's why we listen to the music that we listen to because we already know it's fake. All of it's false,
Yeah.
but we just
Po-
feed into it.
Poetry makes them think and feel, and they don't want to do
Mhm.
that.
Look, they don't want to get in touch with a reality.
No,
They don't want to hear the truth.
that's
And it's
right.
and then, like I said, we love to be lied to. As
Yeah.
everybody, we love to be lied to. When we watch
Hmm.
movies, we are entertained by a fictional thing that probably never happened, but we
That's right.
engage with it because we like the fantasy of it. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes we get in relationships knowing that this person ain't the right one, but it's the fantasy of being with that person. But like, oh no, I know this ain't gonna work out, but it's just the lies that you tell yourself too as well.
yep. Yep,
So
it
so,
sure is.
so let's get into the poetry life league. Do y'all have any question about the league, anything like that?
Yes, how's it gonna work? Because I haven't been on lately. We've been dealing with the baby. So
Okay.
how's it gonna work this season?
Okay, so this is a brand new thing that we're doing Portugal Life League. Each poet will have 38 matches. And the season will start in July and in November, and then it will usher into the playoffs, which is the champion of Portugal Life League tournament. So at the end, the last four poets that's standing is gonna be flown out. Y'all gonna be put in hotels, and we're gonna have a huge event.
Go ahead.
What'd you
Is
say?
it gonna be like each one against each other? I mean, is it gonna be like one on one, or is it gonna be in groups? How's it gonna work?
Look, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show
Okay.
y'all real quick. Look, everybody, I'm gonna give y'all a sneak peek of what the layout gonna be. So y'all people that's out there watching, y'all gonna get this for the first time. Look, it's gonna be amazing. Hold on, let me bring it up for y'all. Let me format this correctly. Okay. So this will be the format. Let me take some of this stuff off so I can clearly see it. Okay, take off the
Okay.
overlays. So this will be the format. You will have the two poets that's at the top, and then you have the four judges in the boxes below. So it's one poem versus another person poem.
Okay, I see. Random or like
A random poem, whatever poem that you will like, your
okay.
poem versus their poem. There's no categories. Only thing I ask, no porn, poetry. No, keep it clean. No porn. No,
Yes.
because that gonna get me kicked off of YouTube. I'm telling you now.
Limit a limit
So,
on limit on words or anything,
oh
limit
no,
on word count.
no, anything you want to
Awesome.
talk about. So the poem has to be longer than a minute,
Hmm.
and it can't be shorter than a minute. Got to be longer than a minute, and it can't be no longer than 4 minutes. But I'm giving y'all a 30-second grace period, so it can be 4:27, 4:25, but it can't go over 4:30. And if it
Okay.
goes over 4:30, you'll get 5 points deducted from your total score. And you know how big 5 points is getting deducted from your score.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So if you
But if the
go up,
poem's good, it might be worth it.
right, you're right.
You know?
Like if you can get all fours, if you get all fives, hey, that
Yeah.
that 5 points ain't gonna hurt you like that.
Yeah. True
That's just
that.
3 points. So it really depends on on everybody and how they want to deliver their poetry. But also, like I said, a lot of people ask if can they read their poetry. So the answer to that is yes, you can read your poetry, but we know we have a part of it in performance. Now, if you stumbling, mumbling over your words while you reading it, it will affect your performance. But if
Yeah,
you
I
if
got to work
read,
on that one.
but if you can read it flawlessly and it don't hinder your performance, then hey, you're good. But it's just the performance part, getting through it clean and making sure you don't have no hiccups.
Awesome. I
So
can't wait.
look, so like in this league too, like all the 38 matches y'all will have, everything will be on record. Every stack statistics that we're gonna do, and we're gonna have a website where y'all be able to see all the stats, who's leading in this stack or this category, or even with the merch that y'all be having on your page. Each one of y'all will have a page that people can go to and view your work, and
Oh,
also
awesome.
y'all will have merch on there as well. That if a person go to your page and order some merch off your page, you will get a percentage of that.
Y'all going all out this time, aren't
Look,
you?
like we like this is the NBA of poetry.
I hear you.
Look,
Yeah.
this is the NBA of poetry, and we're gonna make a culture shift in poetry. We're gonna make because everybody, all my entertainment friends, shout out to Don Juan, and they were saying like poetry is not entertainment. It's not looked at as entertainment in the music industry or in the entertainment world. because they say there's no entertainment factor to it. But this right here is gonna bring the entertainment factor to it.
There you go.
Kind of like a lost language.
Right. And so look, this is something new that's gonna happen that I don't think I told everyone, but the 4 judges is gonna be part of 4 different regions. It's like east, west, south, north, and south. It's gonna be 4 different regions. So in the beginning, once we solidified the 20 poets that's gonna be in the league, then we're gonna have a draft. So
Okay.
we don't know what judge gonna have the first pick, but we're gonna see who's gonna be the first round draft pick. But whoever's gonna be the first round draft pick, that's a lot of pressure on them.
Heck yeah.
If you're the first round pick, hey, it's pressure.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're going up against.
Look, Obi, if they choose you at number 1, that's pressure. You
Yep.
gotta show you why you're the
Hey,
number 1 draft pick.
I've been on stage with some of the best, so like to do it on a video platform, I don't think it'll be too hard.
Look.
We'll see. I guess we'll see. It'd be a lot of pressure on me. I don't do the whole video thing that good.
Well, I mean, to me, it's all about what you talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Lady said, you could be a great poet, and a horrible performer.
Yeah.
So I don't just look at the person's performance. I look at what they actually talking about. Because a real judge is gonna judge your performance and your work at the same time.
But see, and that's the good thing about Poetry Life League. We broke it down in 5 categories, so we're not judging off of our opinion or I think you got an 8.3. No, we breaking it down in different categories while we chose the score that we chose. So
that's a good learning tool too.
Right.
Because that helps you beef up what you get low scores in.
What are all the categories?
So let me pull them up real quick. I'm glad you asked that. So the categories is originality, wittiness, relatability, substance, and performance.
Okay.
So again, it's originality, wittiness, relatability, substance, and performance.
Okay. Well, I can't wait. When does it start?
It starts in July.
July. Okay. I know you said that, but I forgot.
Yeah,
so
it starts
July
after
November, right?
Yeah, it started after July 4th. So
Okay.
and then it's gonna end right like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, like the first week of November. So and
Okay.
then after that, after the holidays, we're gonna usher into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So then like I said, so how you enter into the playoffs is from the 20. We taking the top 12 poets. So the
Okay.
top 12 poets will enter into the Champion of Poetry Life tournament.
All right.
So the top 12 poets with the best record, hey, look, y'all in the playoffs. So and that's what makes it so great because now you have a record. Like say, look, and now next season you can brag on. Look, I went 30-8. I won 30 matches, only lost 8. So now
Yeah.
you got records, you got stats, and now you a top poet because you're going against poets across the United States.
Probably get a fan base too.
And that's the whole deal of it. It's about building your brand as a poet,
That's
touching
right.
other people, getting other people to hear your material. This is the reason why I created this league for we can touch the multitude of people. You can get a fan base out here in Dallas or Louisiana, LA, Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, wherever people are at.
Yeah.
In Chicago,
So
Atlanta.
it's only going to be United States, right?
Yes. It's
Only U.S. poets.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
cool.
last time we had someone that was in London, and
Yeah.
and the time zone was kind of tricky with that. So but this
Yeah.
year I'm gonna make it strictly for people in the U.S.
Awesome.
So I mean, if y'all got any more questions, what y'all think about the league? What do you think? The highest format at?
I think it's awesome. I think y'all had to win all out this time.
Look.
I mean,
I
I've
look,
loved it every
I
time,
think
but
it's
this time sounds really exciting.
look. Each year it get better and better because it's just more into it.
Yeah, we all grow, you know?
Look, and that's the good
definitely.
thing about it. Each year that I had it, like how many tournaments have you been in? Point score, was it 3 or 2?
Three, three.
You you was in all 3 of them?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I was in the,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
I was in all three.
Okay. So from the first one, we did it strictly just in the group and stuff like that. Then
Yeah,
the one year that we did it kind of live, and the last year everything was live, everything was visual and stuff like that. So you've seen the
yeah.
elevation of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all grew up, y'all have made like went all out this time. But yeah, it's every year it's gotten better and better.
So
Not that it wasn't good to begin with, because it was straight to begin with, but it just gets better and better.
And the thing is, if you stay track of the progress of poetry life, just think this is something that's brand new that never been done. So we're
Yeah,
cracking barriers that nobody even thought about doing. So just think the elevation from year 1 to year 5.
yeah,
You know, so it's going to be amazing.
yes, it
And
is.
like I say, as poets, we got to brand ourselves, and this is what it's about. Us coming on here, communicating, letting people know who we are, letting people learn our personalities, and giving the world the best we had to offer. Because, like I said, Shorty Rock, Shine, Knowledge, a Poet Scar, Sierra, we are the best writers in the world.
That's right.
You put us against anybody in the industry, they cannot outwrite us. I guarantee you that.
That's right.
Kendrick Lamar, come here, Kendrick. Yeah, you write good music, but let me see if you can do this poetry.
Yeah, keep up
You
with
know,
us.
look, J. Cole, where you at? I'm calling you out, J. Cole.
I'm not touching that one, bro. I'm not touching that one.
I'm
I've
about to
seen J.
say,
Cole's pen. I've seen J.
I
Cole's
tapped
pen,
out at
bro.
Kendrick. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm not touching J. Cole pen, bro. Nah, bro.
Look, I tapped out
Look,
at Kendrick like I'm cool. I don't need him tapping into my damn closet looking for stuff. Look, leave me alone. Look,
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 but hey, I want all the smoke. I want y'all to prove me wrong. I want y'all to prove me that these artists can really write. Because I believe half of them don't, not even half, I believe 90% of them don't write their own material.
Yeah,
say
yeah.
well,
less.
Some of them do
I
though.
can
Some of
say,
them do. I've seen some of them. Like they got YouTube videos out. Some of them be writing their own stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's why it's
I,
like
Yeah,
10%,
yeah,
little
yeah.
10. But like I say,
Look, if
I
I
you
just
want
mean,
to
feel like,
know, if you want to
go ahead,
know the
Simon.
rappers that write their own stuff, find out who they were, in battles.
Mm.
You
right.
Yeah,
get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Find out
yeah.
who they were in battle rap. And if none of them could really just sit there and battle verse for verse, bar for bar, then they not writing
Yeah,
their own stuff. If they don't come from that, then they don't write their own stuff. Eve
yeah,
came from that. Queen
You're right.
Latifah came from that.
Right.
MC Light came for that, just from the
yeah.
Queen's perspective, right? They came from
Mhm.
that. So they
You're
could
not
stand their
lying.
own ground.
That's
Big
right.
Daddy Kane came from that. Twister
Yes.
came from that.
Come on.
Common came from that.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Last Poet came from that.
Look,
You know,
DMX. Don't play with it. The late
Look,
Boogie
'80s.
Down,
talk
KRS
heavy.
One came from
Talk
that.
heavy. Talk heavy. Man, look, like,
So, like real Pen Smith, and I'm talking about a real Pen Smith. Like I don't think anybody can deny this lady. But Dionne Warwick is a Pen Smith, bro.
Yeah,
you
Dionne
talking.
Don't
Warwick,
name a can
nobody
and
can
cut out.
deny her pen, bro.
You talking.
Not only did she do poetry, she did opera, she did jazz, gospel, pen game. Stupid.
Look. Hey, a poet scarred. Do you have a poem? Do you have a poem that you got memorized?
No, not right now. not
Sierra, what
not
about you, Sierra?
Not one memorized.
Okay, okay. Look, Shorty Rock, can you give us a poem? I know you got a poem, Shorty Rock. She been over there quiet. She been over there writing. Look, she got a pen and pad.
Look,
She
I'm
been over
cracking
there
up because I was
writing.
like, you ain't even asked me, but it's cool. Look,
Look. I know you was going to an event. I didn't know how deep you want to go ahead and jump in this thing, but hey, man,
I'm
you
going to
got a
a
poem.
poetry event. So yeah.
Look, look. That's why. Look, if you want to get your bars off, hey,
Can you
Is
guys
it
hear
just
me
me?
okay?
yeah, we
Is
can
it
hear
just
you.
me or is it cutting out?
No, we can hear everything fine. Is everybody? Can everybody hear?
You can
Everybody
hear
Yeah,
okay?
I
me?
can now.
Yeah, I can
Okay,
hear.
Okay.
let's go.
I'm gonna give you the new one. Demon Time.
Demon time. Well, let's go. I'm ready for that one.
Dear Sunshine, first let me say hello. I don't believe we were ever properly introduced to each other. I'm the owner of the mind you choose to infest. My apologies if you don't care for the name I assigned to you, but it fit like a glove since you were an oxymoron allowing my senses to be catapulted into turmoil. Since our first encounter in the bathroom, when a slip will lead to an assault, cracks to the skull, 4 different ways that permitted you to take up permanent residency, forever altering my perception of reality. Every day is a different definition of tolerance. Did you have a bad day? I'm guessing today is Munchausen by proxy, since now I have the symptoms of photophobia. The sensitivity to the luminescence is illuminating. To fully grasp that every light switch is a chance to see sparklers and fireworks before the 4th of July. Any bright light is a walk through a lightning storm minus the thunder. The greatest journey traversing a live minefield covered in hydrogen. Explosions without the dynamite. Bombs bursting through the air. Maybe today you decided to tamper with my hearing. There are troops marching in by the thousand. The cadence of their steps resonating, reverberating whispers trapped in caves, only it's in my spine, rattling my bones to break. You, the monster who'd gin the sound of the ocean to a shell, has now bombarded it onto my eardrums, giving me the ability to hear the blood rushing through my veins, like hearing a freight train racing down the autobahn at top speed in stereo. The beating of my own heart is deafening. Any sound can resonate with the force of 1,000 bells, creating a cacophony of noise, or nails being dragged for miles down a board. A knock at the door feels like cymbals coming together, where a banshee is sanctioned to serenade my brain like Jack the Ripper. Maybe we stroll past someone who doesn't understand how to use perfume or cologne. And now I'm plagued with vertigo and trying to contain the contents of my stomach. Walking is like traveling down a spiral tube that won't stop moving. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to please give me a break. In 30 days, you turn the volume down maybe once or twice, but you're always waiting for anything to irritate you, sending me back into a death spiral. I appreciate the limitless rounds you let me have an all access pass to play in, but I would really appreciate the moments of silence without constant pain. Sincerely, your owner. Peace.
Hey,
That was awesome.
That was beautiful.
Yes, very much so.
I tell you, she be writing movies, man. Look, she be writing movies.
Yeah, she does.
Well, shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Look, we were talking earlier about um, some of the issues in the poetry community, and a lot of it I think is how people view themselves. But I got a piece called Imposter Syndrome. I'm gonna
Mm,
do that, and then I gotta run up out of here.
okay, okay.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
All right. You see, I am currently fighting the demons of my own insecurities, fighting the voices that keep telling me that I am not worthy of a love beyond my own broken pieces, the voices that keep telling me that what I have endured somehow disqualifies me for something so simple as love. The kind of love that doesn't give up. The kind of love that sees all of me, even when I am hiding in the dark corners of the padded room of my mind. I don't run because I want to. I run because my mind is filled with landmines that at any time can convince you that I am not worthy, that will convince you to hurt me, that will tell you all of the stories that you need to hear, that will determine how little my value truly is. So I hide. And I convince myself of lies. I see every one of your movements as reasons why I should always hide who I am. And I am so tired of never being enough, tired of settling for crumbs because my needs hold no value, my wants mean nothing, and my pain for you is entertainment. And I want so badly to be seen and then kept. Seen and no longer thrown away, so tired of looking at God and begging for an expiration date, all because I am too black, too fat, too ugly to date, failing intelligence, too gullible to be seen as remotely palatable unless it's for sex. And then I get comments on how my taste is the best, but do you even care about what hurts me or what makes me smile? How to keep my tears from falling from my eyes like blood from a stabbed and beating heart. I am so tired of smiling for a world and never being seen when my world is falling apart. See, I want you to see me, but only God knows if you ever will. You say that I'm a good person, but is that really how you feel? Because I am exhausted by fake desires of men who claim to want me just to be left hurt and further convinced of why love will never keep me but only haunt me. I am worthy. I keep telling myself that I am worthy. I swear that I am worthy of my dreams, worthy of being seen, worthy of the love that I give, and worthy of being loved and never lost, worthy of being kept. I want you to love me and not just be looking for another reason to leave me. I wish that you could see me and stay and never want to leave, but I suppose that's the imposter in my mind. It's the monster that will never allow me to hide. So for all of my hellos, I am already prepared for goodbye. So hello, landmines. Sincerely, the imposter in my mind. And that's that piece, y'all.
Man, hold up. Man, look, I wish we had a little bit more time. Uh, but we have 2 hour mark, and you ended us greatly with a great poem. Look, Shine, you didn't tell me you went that hard like that. We look, we gonna have to talk. You was definitely holding back on me. You was most definitely look look. I love that one.
Look,
I
that
love
Mhm.
that
that.
was just a Sunday
Me too.
afternoon. I'd be
I
chilling.
love that one.
That was definitely dope. Definitely
Look,
dope.
look. We,
Thank y'all so much. But like I said, this is life, and oftentimes when the pen gets picked up, If you're being completely honest and allowing yourself to be the vessel, you don't oftentimes get to choose what comes out. Sometimes it's your story, sometimes it's someone else's, and sometimes it's a combination of the two.
No, that's a truth.
So, and the only thing that I would say, look, in closing, before I land my plane,
You already landed that. You landed that a
Right.
long time ago.
look, is always understand that you are a spirit living a human experience, and in this human experience, there are a multitude, a plethora even of emotions, not just sad, not just love, not just anger. There's everything. So do not limit yourself and your ability to express yourself by one emotion. If all you can write is when you're angry or when you're hurt, then I would implore you to sit in a space when you are filled with joy and write. Announce that joy within your writing. If you are sitting in a space of confusion, talk to it with your pen. Do not limit yourself and pigeonhole yourself and place yourself in these itty bitty boxes, because the reality is that when you are given this gift is bigger than you. It is bigger than the us entirely. So allow it to flow as it was meant to, and do so without fear or limitations or any dams to give towards what anyone else could possibly think about it, because the reality is that what comes out of you is birthed with reason, and there are going to be ears that are going to be ready to hear it, eyes that are going to be ready to see it, and fingertips that are going to be ready to take it in via braille. There's going to be somebody in existence with a pulse in this place that you are going to touch. So do so. Express yourself with absolutely no fear. And when the fear comes, understand that it's just there to give you an identifying marker that you are moving in the right direction. And that's what you call courage. So many blessings to every last one of y'all. I appreciate you so much for having me. I'm gonna see y'all.
Hey man, we gonna do this. Look, we gonna do this every Saturday, man. I'm gonna get back into it. Look, I tell you, I haven't been on here for almost 2 months since my wife been in the hospital. You know, she had brain surgery, so I haven't. But she back home. She doing good. So and she gave me the okay to get back on here. So since she gave me the back on okay to get back on, hey, I'm on.
Look, because she needs to feel your joy, brother.
Right.
Because as you're joyful and you're doing those things and you're moving in a way that's pulling stress off of you and enjoying the things that you're passionate about, you are literally passing that beautiful energy to your wife, which is giving her that healing energy that she needs. So always know that being the fullness of self is healing to the people that are the closest to you. It brings a sense of peace and joy, and it gives them mental and emotional stability, especially in your partner. As women, when we are sitting in the fullness of our femininity and we have the opportunity to engage with our partners in the fullness of themselves, same thing with men and masculinity. When you get that beautiful balance, you are literally speaking and bringing life and healing into her at every pass. So walk in that joy, walk in the peace of all the things that bring you joy and happiness, because you are then passing that on to her and giving her something to fight for herself as well. So many prayers and blessings to all of y'all.
Look,
y'all have a great night.
you said a mouthful, right? I appreciate that message at the end, because
absolutely.
Look, I got you. I got you. Trust me, I got you.
Look, I'll be out here ministering all day and all night. Shorty Rock knows she be in my lives. Look.
Look, I want to thank everyone that's on here. Before we get on here and get up out of here, everybody give a shout out. Let everybody know where you from and what you do, and we go ahead and get up out of here. Let's start with Shorty Rock. Rock with me. She back there writing. Look, I see you.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and tell the people who you are and where you from, and so we can go ahead and emerge from this space.
My name is Shorty Rock. I am in North Carolina. Um, and I am a poet. You can find me on social media under Poet Shorty Rock or Mega Cartoon 80 on TikTok. Otherwise, if you usually moths of a flame stick together, so if you find one poet, you'll find the rest of us.
That's a fact.
Pretty easy to find us.
OB, what about you?
Am I allowed to spit a piece before we go?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. We got time.
All right. This is a piece I just wrote. I wanted to get it off my chest real quick.
Okay.
Black like me. Being black like me is being a target based in your skin tone, zones based on the ability to perceive financially for stability, becoming a persecution for the woman to determine our value. Being black like me is being paralyzed in your reality, because conscious is a crime, and the ability to see the unseen is like the vibrations that fluctuate frequencies, supplying me with the energy that emanates from my spirit, man. Like I was spawned from the source code. My DNA dominates national agendas. Being black like me is a responsibility. It's getting up when everyone else puts you down. It's creating music where there's no sound. It's words on paper that have never been seen, like the papyrus that is written in your dream. Being black like me is being a lab rat for pharmaceutical companies to test their drugs on. It's not just dropping drugs and guns off in the hood. It's essentially misunderstood. Being black like me is being a young black man with a disability, told I'm incapable of my intellect, is subjected only to theory because no one really hears me. Being black like me means my talent goes unnoticed, and the body you're encased in doesn't fit the profile that's relatable to our society. Still, you rely on me. Being black like me is anticipating the bullshit that doesn't change. Only time does.
Fire, man. OB, tell them where you from, and we're gonna move on to a Poet Scar and Sierra.
I'm from Chicago. I live in Atlanta, A-Town, representing. And you can find me on Instagram at Verbal Doctrine, at Instagram.com, Facebook at OB Knowledge, or you can find me on Clubhouse at OB Knowledge, Chaotic Eargasm, and you can find me on TikTok under OB Knowledge, at verbaldoctrine.com.
Okay, man. Hey, y'all search them out, because like this one thing I got to say. You're a great freestyler. I can't do that. I'm a writer. I'm a good writer. But for you to freestyle that $1 million poem, that was fire. I'm gonna have to replay that, go back and replay that a couple times, because you did that from a freestyle. Look, hands down, you got it. You got it, man. Look, you got it.
I appreciate it.
Hey, that's fire. Poet Scar, Sierra. Where y'all from?
We're from South Carolina. I'm a Poet Scar. You can find me on allpoetry.com, Poetry Soup, Facebook under the same name, Poet Scar. We're upstate South Carolina.
Okay. Sierra, what about you? New poet?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do nothing but go to school, take care of a kid, and occasionally write. I don't know.
She's just getting started. She's just getting started. So she's not on any social media or anything yet.
Okay. Hey, we
still all write pen and paper. She hasn't got it online.
I don't know how I feel about like sharing though. Like, I don't know, when I do a poem, it isn't just for everybody. Like, it's more for a release of emotion to get it off of me. And so to share it, it's like part of me wants to be selfish and it's like, no, this is mine. So I
Well,
don't
that's natural in the beginning.
Yeah,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Poetry
Thank
is it's your baby. You know what I'm saying? Poetry is definitely like a baby. It's like something you want to nurture and hold on to until it's ready to grow up and go out into the world.
Thank you. That's what I tell her too.
Well, with painting or whatever, it's never right. Like even an artist, when you paint something, it's like it's always missing something. It's never perfect, and I just don't know that my poetry will get to the point where it's perfect to share.
It ain't supposed to be.
Right.
It's supposed to be
It's
real.
not. That there's a phrase I use to describe myself. I am perfectly unbroken.
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? So you can be broken and still be perfect. You feel what I'm saying? And you can be unbroken and still be perfect. But either way, it's never gonna be perfect.
Right.
Just like life.
That's just life. That's life be life, and like you said earlier.
Look, ain't nothing perfect, man. Look, I'm trying to raise my kids to be perfect, even though they know the right thing to do. They still go the opposite way. So
Yeah,
look,
all the time.
so you wanting perfection. Look, it ain't gonna never be. Life ain't perfect. Like, look, I can say the same poem 10 times, and each time I'm gonna say something different in it. So
See, I'm like that. That's what makes me nervous to say it on camera, because it's liable not to be like I wrote it.
look, and that's always like every time I spit, I say something a little bit different. But I appreciate everyone that came up on here, man. We passed the 2-hour mark, man. Again, appreciate y'all and continue to keep writing, because Poetry Life League is right around the corner. It's in July. That's not that long. It's 6 months away. So I'm diligent working in the background to make each one of y'all successful. So shout out to everyone. Keep writing. Until then, y'all already know what it is. It's TK the Poet. You already know, so you ain't gotta quote it. And if I spoke it, you already know what that means. Yeah, I wrote it, and we out.
Get the money with you or with your not. Get the fucking whip with it with the pot. Your corn, I invest up in the stock. Left everybody went straight up to the top. Don't care like me or like me not. See the op spin the block. Ain't gon' stop till see them all drop. Blade your